Welcome to Finding Holiness, where we delve into timeless Torah wisdom, revealing the sacred in everyday moments. Join us on a journey to elevate your spirituality and discover holiness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Rabbi David Kadosh, and together, let's embark on a path of spiritual exploration. I hope you enjoy this next episode. All right, let's continue Hilchot Lashon Hara. We're still discussing the Apei Tlata concept. In light of all the principles that we've shared regarding Apei Tlata, tzarich lizaher, we have to caution. We have to watch not to speak Lashon Hara when the 7 municipal trustees meet. These were I would call them city board members that used to decide things for the city at hand. It's brought down in the Gemara. Le'ayen bidvar hanhagat anshe ha'ir, to decide on communal matters, be'inyanei ha'arachot v'chayotze ba'zeh, property assessments. Be'davar shu chov lazeh u'zchut lazeh, if they meet regarding such a matter where a decision that they make could be a benefit to some, but it is a detriment to another. V'nechleku bedeot, and the trustees were divided in their opinions. Ve'amdu leminyan, so they took a vote. Ve'alchu bataruba, and they followed the majority in that vote. K'shiyetzu mechadar ha'kahal, once they leave the conference room, tzrichin lizaher meod kol echad ve'echad shelo lesaper achar kach da'ato, o dat ploni. Each and every one of the trustees is not allowed to leave the room and reveal his own personal view or another trustee's view. A trustee cannot say that originally he wanted to be lenient on a certain individual regarding a matter, but nevertheless, his colleagues outnumbered him, and then he was forced to go follow the strict way, when he originally planned on doing this way, because by doing so, you're revealing that the colleagues were responsible for a strict ruling against someone. Okay, and that is violation of rechilut, because it might cause animosity between the subject here, Shimon. Again, Shimon's always a subject in our case, and those who and those who voted against him. Velomi bai, and it goes without saying that the details of the vote cannot be disclosed. Im huskam benehem mitechila, if the trustees initially resolved among themselves, that upon leaving the conference room, they would not disclose what was decided. Or lesaper laish hanochechi gufa she'elav nogea hachovahu, or that they would at least not relate the information to the party who was negatively impacted by their decision. So, for example, a scenario brought down over here in the case, a committee of residents rejects a family's application to buy a condominium in the building. One member of the committee is a friend of the wife. The wife insists on knowing what happened at the meeting and is angry when the friend insists on confidentiality. Even though the committee's discussion occurred in front of 3 people, the friend is not allowed to tell who supported or who opposed her application. Okay, there is a practical example. Bevadai isur gamurhu. Such a case would be certainly a clear-cut prohibition to reveal the matter of the vote. That for sure. Ela afilu bistama. Even if there was no specific request to, with regards to the details of the vote, it cannot be revealed. V'gam enenu mechaven legalot, and it's forbidden even if the trustee does not intend to publicize the matter. Rak b'mikre lesaper le'acher, but he just wants to share his position incidentally with another person. Belashon sheyira'eh midvarav, if he does so and his language implies shedato enenu notel hazeh gam'ata, that he's still unconvinced of how the board voted against Shimon, and he also adds that he was pressured because he's unable to fight for this. Gamken isur gamur. This is also forbidden, okay, because Shimon is bound to hear the report and will probably have some animosity towards other people. Ufi da'at hayad haktana, However, according to the opinion of Yad Aktana, which is another sefer, afilu im yesaper stam ech shedato haya mitechila leakel al oto ploni, even if the trustee says that his initial opinion was in favor of Shimon, ve'achar kach amdu leminyan ve'alchu batar ruba, but it later took a vote and followed a majority view, then gam ken asur, it's also forbidden. Ve'en shum nafka mina ben la mesaper davar ze me'atzmo, there's no difference whether the trustee discloses his personal view or whether on his own accord or whether he does it because his friend confronted him. About this unfair decision that emerged. In any case, it's forbidden for the trustee to place the blame on someone else, and thus absolve himself, even if it is indeed true. Okay. All right. So this is a big one. This is a very big one, and we're not gonna have time to finish all of it. But what we'll do today is we'll read the halakha, and maybe tomorrow we'll read the Haggah. This is one of the Chafetz Chaim's. One of many rants. We've already had a few times where he goes off and he speaks his mind. So this is one of them. This is Halacha Yud Bet in Klal Bet. Od ra'iti lichtov davar echad beferush. I feel it's necessary to write openly about the following. Mipnei shera'iti sheharbe anashim murgalin bazeh, because I notice many people are in the habit of acting improperly in this regard. Vehu kishedoresh echad bebet hamidrash. If somebody is giving a speech, someone is giving a shiur, a sermon, a drasha, asur al pi hadin lehal'ig mimenu velomar she'en bidrashotav mamash. It is halachically forbidden to ridicule him by saying, that shiur, waste of time. That Dvar Torah, not worth a Dvar Torah. No substance. She'en ma lishmoa. There's nothing of value to hear from that Divrei Torah.
Who was the guest to say that?
Who? I got news for you. Ubavonotenu arabim. Unfortunately, in our many sins, ra'inu sheharbe anashim perutzin bazeh. We see that many people act in this area wantonly, and they're parutz. Parutz is like they break through. They have no shame. Ve'al pi adin hu lashon hara gmura, and yet it is full-fledged lashon hara. Sha'yedei dibur kazeh matzui hu shegorem hezek lachavero b'mamono, because these remarks are often going to cause this lecturer financial damage, because people are not going to want to hire him for future engagements. Okay, especially when you pay a lot of people make money. It's a lot of their parnasah to be a motivational speaker. But if it's not motivational, or a person says, "What a waste of time! How much money did it cost to even bring this guy?" No one's going to want to hire him anymore, and you're taking away from his parnasah. Besides the fact that it's lashon hara, v'kama pe'amim tzaru biyush kamken, and then oftentimes your remarks about the speaker will cause distress and embarrassment. Kilu yehishu devar emet. And even if the critique is true, maybe it was boring, or maybe there was no chidush, or maybe he didn't say anything that blew you out of the water. It doesn't matter. Halo lashon hara asur afilu al emet, because we know lashon hara is forbidden even if the information is true. Ki ma to'elet mechaven hamal'ig umitlotzetz achar ze beletzanuto. What constructive intention could this scoffer and cynic have with this ridicule? Here he directs us to the Haggah, which is long. We're not going to have time today, so what we're going to do is we're going to finish the halacha, and we'll do the Haggah tomorrow. Ki im ba'al nefeshu, if indeed he is a sincere person, if this guy is legit and he's a nice guy and he wants to help the lecture improve, to be more confident. Okay, don't speak about his shortcomings. Don't speak about his faults. Adarabba, the contrary. Tzarich leya'etz lo achar kach beino leben atzmo. He should directly approach the guy afterwards, advise him in private. Ulha'arich lefanav shiomar ba'ofanim acherim. Point point to different ways how he can present his speech, the material in a different way. Shebe'ofen says, that's saying by the current way that he's talking now, en dvarav nishma'im. You should know that your speech, your message is not being really well received. Ube'etzah zu haya mekayem gamken ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. And when you offer such advice, you'll also be fulfilling the mitzvah of ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, of love your fellow as yourself. Ve'al kol panim shelo la'asoto al yedei ze le'lag befi ha'biriyot. In any event, even if you feel uncomfortable to approach a speaker, who am I going to go talk to the speaker? You know, he's a chashuv guy, they paid a lot of money, maybe he's going to push me away. Okay, but you can turn him into a laughing stock in people's eyes. Velo mehane bazeh hetera de apet lata. And the apet lata does not apply in this case. Okay, why would you think it applies in this case? Okay, because the note here says, below, we cannot say that the speaker's faults would have eventually been revealed in any case by someone in the audience, because the quality of his speech is subjective. You didn't like it, but maybe the guy that heard it, he was fine with it. He found there was chidushim over it. Speeches are received differently by different people. So even when the apet lata license applies, one is not allowed to embellish the facts. In the case of a public lecture, it is impossible to determine objectively what degree of criticism is factual and what is an exaggeration. And that's why it's forbidden to offer critique altogether, no matter what. And this is very important, right? Yeah, the Jewish nation, again, we'll look at the Haggah Bezat Hashem tomorrow, but much of our life is Divrei Torah. Much of our lives are drashas, or speaks, rabbis like myself who get up and want to talk, to try to inspire and try to, share information and the wealth of Torah that we have. You're right. Not always is it going to be, wow, that was the best thing I ever heard. Sometimes it might be boring. Sometimes it might, or it might be something that you feel disinterested. Okay, but again, that's your opinion. It's subject to how you feel, and it not necessarily is that the opinion of everybody else in the audience. But one thing for sure you can't say, if you get up or you want to be the scoffer and the mocker who's going to get up and say, what a waste of time that was, then even though you believe it, that is not constructive criticism. That's just Lashon Hara. That's just criticism, and it is wrong, and it is against halakha. Rather, what you should do, like the halakha said, go up to the guy, give him a hug, say, listen, I don't know if the message is coming across clearly. Maybe try this, try that. And again, like that, you'll fulfill ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha as well. Okay, we'll stop here.